Welcome to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprofit.com. And now your hosts, Craig and Jeff.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey. And today we have some start-sit questions and some other topics for you as we head into week 7 fantasy football. So actually, before we get into start-sit questions, I just wanted to say one quick thing, and that is Mike McCarthy's an idiot, and I think he's a terrible coach. And he's stupid, right? I mean, how do you have the ball on the 1 yard line in 3 straight plays and you don't hand the ball off to Zeke once? How's that happen? 1 yard line. You got Zeke back there and you don't even hand him the ball. It's frustrating, Jeff. And I lose. I lost by 0.3. 0.3. 0.3. That's 3 yards. That's it. Oh, man. McCarthy needs to go already. They should fire him. They shouldn't even let him get more than half a season. It's bad. It's just bad. But enough about that. My fantasy football, terrible stuff happening to me. But we do have some questions here. We got a question. I just want to start this thing off with a question from Alex. It's Alex. I think it's a good topic to talk about. He said, is it an instant plug and play for Le'Veon Bell? And Jeff, you have Le'Veon Bell on a team of yours. Are you going to put him in your lineup this week, or this is something you can't do yet? You got to wait around to see what happens.
I mean, it all depends, right? For me, yeah. I am going to. That is the one league where I'm hurting very, very badly. I'm going to use him right away. But hey, more than likely, you probably have safer options. If you are a halfway decent team, you probably have 2 solid backs. And then as far as a flex option, there's probably a wide receiver out there that has more upside than what he does right now. It is coming against a good defense. We don't know how he's going to be used. Allaire just came off of a very big game where it was 26 carries. No one knows how he's going to be used. Is he very intriguing? Absolutely. I'm not going to lie and tell you that don't put him in there. If you feel like I'm going to roll the dice, no one knows. No one knows. Yeah. He could be a red zone threat. I mean, they could end up throwing it to him a lot. Maybe Allaire gets every carry and they're going to, test him out passing wise. He could be incredibly dangerous, especially when everyone's trying to chase Tyreek Hill and, Hardman and all of those very incredibly fast wide receivers down. I think he's interesting. I think, though, you do wait 1 week to let him get his legs under him, to figure out what they're going to do, and to have a better matchup, to be quite honest. I think that would be my biggest if it was going to be against a really bad defense, I'd be like, yeah, why not? Put him in there. They're going to be winning. They'll want to get the rust off of him. But I don't see him having a huge game. So I would probably lean towards other options if you have them. But if you're like me, I'm rolling that dice and I'm running with it.
Yeah, I mean, normal situations I wouldn't play him because it's the big unknown. What do we have here? We have no idea how they plan to use him. Bell's still good. I don't doubt that he can still play. I don't believe he's still the Bell from when was even his last year at this point? 2017? Was that his last season in Pittsburgh now at this point?
3 years ago.
Wow, that's crazy. So, wow, it actually has been a long time since we've seen him be good, right? Yeah, took 2018 off and wasn't any good last year and because he played for the Jets, and not any good this year because he played for the Jets. So I guess we don't know that holdout was just a rough situation. I'm telling you, that wasn't the way to go. I don't feel like that worked out for him very well.
We'll find out.
If it all plays out, if it all works now.
Yeah, if he becomes the guy,
if he becomes true. If he becomes the guy on a Patrick Mahomes offense and wins a Super Bowl and he still gets all this money he had, it's actually at the end of the day, it worked out for him, right?
I was going to say, he got paid and he gets to go to a good team. The only downside is he had to spend 2 years with, the Jets. But hey, it doesn't seem to hurt him yet. So we'll find out. But maybe, I don't know. And even if it wasn't right, even if we think that, he never is going to return, he just doesn't have it anymore to the level that he did. Maybe he was right then. as far as playing wise and how people think of him in the past couple of years, yeah, that took a hit, but he did get paid. That's what he wanted. Why not? I think he probably it would have been smart to stay in Pittsburgh, but I'm not going to hate on the guy for it. Doesn't seem like he's causing anyone hurt. Doesn't seem like he's a bad guy. Everyone kind of raves about how good he is in the locker room. So, hey man, I'm rooting for him to be halfway decent. So we can stop, predicting whether or not the guy's an idiot.
True. I guess that's a good call. And then just to piggyback off this one is Kirk asked, should I play Clyde Edwards-Helaire? And if you're talking this week, of course you play him this week. And if you're talking in the future, I still think you're going to play him in the future. I really don't think. I think the scenario Chiefs probably want is a split. I mean, I'm guessing that's what they want. That's probably what they envisioned this year with Edwards-Helaire and Damian Williams before Williams opted out for the year. So I don't think. I mean, there aren't a lot of teams that just want one guy anymore. It just doesn't happen everywhere. And I don't think the Chiefs are that team. They weren't last year. I mean, Damian Williams never got a full workload. So yeah, I think you're fine playing Edwards-Helaire. You're on a great team. He's on a great team, and I think it should be fine. So other news of the day was the Dolphins have named Tua their starting quarterback now for the remainder of the season. I think they have a bye this week, right? And then coming back from the bye, they say Tua is going to be the starter, which I guess this is probably this was all planned out. This is probably their plan from the beginning of the year, right? Get Fitzpatrick through the bye, and then Tua starts after that. So fantasy purposes here, I mean, with Tua, we don't know what he is. This could be, he could end up being actually a great fantasy option at some point if he becomes what he was in college. But who knows? I'm just consider what it means to the rest of the players. And I guess at this point for you, Jeff, like you're not really in love with the Dolphins players. I already know that, right? You're not, it doesn't really change your opinion. Probably Gaskin, Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, Gesicki. Gesicki's the guy you like, obviously,
right? The
best we like the most. You know what? Sad thing is, I don't think we have the answers to this. No one has the answers to this. If anybody tries to tell you they know exactly who this helps and who it hurts, they're wrong, because how would we know this? And I think you just got to wait and see how it plays out. I mean, Fitzpatrick was good. I thought he was perfectly fine, but obviously he's not the future. I'm almost surprised they did this because they're actually 3-3 on the year. They're not doing bad.
Oh, but, yeah. I mean, they're second. I mean, they're only a game behind the Bills to take that division.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, I'm looking at this. I was kind of surprised, right? I know that Tua was going to come. I thought it would be when they were officially more out of it. I get it. You want to get him some more snaps. You want to see what you have. They believe in him. Okay, I get all that. But I do have to say, him coming in now, when defenses are, humming along, they're pretty fine-tuned at this point. It's not like you're coming in the beginning of the year where everyone's kind of mismatched and you're not sure, and maybe you can take advantage of some of that. Their offense has been okay. Nothing crazy, nothing great. Gaskin has been okay, but I don't feel like there's anyone necessarily he can fall back on and be, really help him out. I mean, you do have Devontae Parker, you have Gesicki. Even for Fitzpatrick, though, they haven't been what they were last year for him. Gesicki closer, all I can think, especially for the next 3-4 games for sure, but even if he plays well, I do not believe that he's going to be a fantasy option. I mean, we look at Burrow even, and he's played very well for a rookie. And even him, he's a streamer, right? A streamer at best at this point. And he's doing pretty well. It's just touchdowns are going to be up and down. Red zone is incredibly tough when you're a rookie. You're trying to figure all this stuff out on the go. Defenses are a lot quicker. Herbert, we'll find out. Maybe he's you could throw him in my face and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. He's been able to kind of buck the trend, but I look at this and it's not the greatest situation for a young guy. I don't like they're throwing him in the middle here, especially when you're 3-3 and fans still want you to win. I get it. But as far as fantasy goes, I think that he will struggle to produce fantasy points. And if I'm guessing, they're going to try to go hard on the run the first game back. And I just can't imagine that paying off for the Dolphins. But hey, we'll find out.
All right. Carson had a question here. Who do you start this week? Cam Newton or Deshaun Watson? So you got Cam is playing against San Francisco and Deshaun Watson's playing against Green Bay. And it's pretty easy for me. I'll go Deshawn.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, pretty simple one for me. Another one here is this is a rest of the season question, actually. This is from Christopher. Drew Brees or Ryan Tannehill rest of the season?
Tannehill.
I'm going to go with you there. I know Brees is getting Michael Thomas back, but Tannehill's been good. I can't go against it. I just got to go with you on that one. I like it. Next question here is Mike Evans or Chris Godwin rest of season? So Godwin's been out for a few weeks. Evans, Mike Godwin was out for a few weeks. He came back, but Evans is, you know what? I'm going to go Godwin because what I've seen from Evans isn't like great consistency. So
yeah, I'm going Godwin as well. You've heard me preach this a lot, but hey, Evans has done a miraculous job of keeping that wide receiving core kind of going while he's been hobbled. I do think that Godwin coming back will take a lot of pressure off of him. I don't think they really want to use him. I honestly believe that they should rest him at some point to get both of them healthy. And I think as soon as Godwin's kind of back in it, you might see that happen. But I think Godwin is going to be the healthy one. I think Evans is going to have a stretch where he's not used nearly as much. And they have other weapons too. So I actually like Evans better, but I think Godwin will be the healthy player. And that's the one you want to play.
Yep. So another rest of season question here. What do we got here? Dallas Goddard, Jonnu Smith, TJ Hawkinson, rest of the year. Goddard, Jonnu, Hawkinson. So
where's Goddard at?
So Goddard, he can come off of IR this week. It's Thursday though. It's Thursday. It's a Thursday game. I don't feel good about that for this week, but I really believe he'll be back then for the games after that. I think this might be it, but I don't have any real news right now, but I still think and Ertz is out. I think I'm going to go Goddard actually. I think I would actually pick Goddard even with missing a week here.
If he's going to come back healthy.
If he comes back in the next week.
Yeah. And or even when he comes back, right? If you would say he comes back and he's going to be healthy, I would start Goddard over either of those other guys.
Yeah, I think so. Even though I like Jonnu Smith, I just think Goddard's a better player.
Yeah, I think Jonnu would be the clear-cut number 2 for me.
All right, we got I lost the name here. Oh yeah, here we go. Bretty Spaghetti asked, what streaming defenses do you recommend?
So I wasn't prepared for the name.
Good old Bretty Spaghetti. Streaming defenses. What streaming defenses do you recommend? So I actually have a couple, I think, for this week. You got Eagles going against the Giants. I think that's a good matchup. Anybody going against the Giants, right? You're going to probably be okay. Chargers going against Jacksonville. I think that's a solid one as well. I still have a hard time saying this, but I don't want to recommend it. But Dallas against the Redskins. I did this the other day too. Against Washington. Washington's just bad. So
they are, but I can't do it.
It's hard. It's harder.
It's harder. Defense is.
I'm not going to. Yeah.
They've gone negative 4 out of 6 weeks.
Right.
Even with
it's hard. It's hard to recommend.
One time where Washington all of a sudden blows up and Allen, tries to resurrect what he was able to do last year or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I do. I was looking at one of these rankings and people are saying start these guys with confidence, start Dallas with confidence, and then back at the bottom is you can find something better, and that's the Steelers. So they'd start Dallas over the Steelers this week.
What?
Because Steelers are playing against Tennessee.
I don't care. I'm still going to start that defense rather than Dallas.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
It's a hard sell for me too. But I would say the best streamers it's Eagles, it's Chargers, it's probably Browns playing against the Bengals, even though Bengals do have the ability to get some points. I think the Browns are still a solid play there, I would say. But I think those are probably the best ones of the week. I would go with those. So another question I had for you, Jeff, actually, not from a listener, but are you worried about Zeke? I know I started the show with Zeke talk real quick just to yell at Mike McCarthy, but I don't think he's gone over 100 yards yet this year in a game. And I feel like we haven't really seen just them giving the ball to Zeke this year. Even when Dak was there, it's been a lot of throwing. This feels a lot like McCarthy in Green Bay, doesn't it? Where he just never got his running backs going. And I don't know. What are you thinking about this? Are you worried about Zeke at all right now?
No.
Okay, good. Well, I like to hear that. Okay, good.
This is the thing. I mean, I understand your frustration, which brings me nothing but joy.
No, it's terrible.
Hearing you go absolutely nuts.
0.3 points, like freaking 0.3.
Yeah.
I guess I could yell at Harrison Butker because he missed an extra point and lost me the game. If Harrison Butker misses, there's who I should yell at. Should I drop Harrison Butker? He's not been good either. He lost me a game. He didn't make an extra point.
You have to make an example. Yeah. The rest of the people on your fantasy football team have to know to fall in line.
Jeez, come make your freaking extra points, Harrison. I would have won. I'd be 4-2. I'm sitting 3-3 in third place in the division. I'm at risk to miss the playoffs for the first time in 10 years. 10 years.
Oh, you could not wait to drop that line, could you?
10 years. 10 years. I have not missed the playoffs in this league. So
it has been a pretty impressive run. I think it's coming to an end, though.
No, I just got Josh Jacobs today, so I feel
good.
That's
true. But no, I don't know. I know that he just had a very bad game. Probably one of the worst games we've seen from him in quite a while. And I feel like, much like Seattle in the Super Bowl, or, you learn that, hey, when you're on the one and you have a stud running back, hand it off to him, right? Hopefully you get that. They try to get cute. They try, and it doesn't work out, whatever you're doing. But the truth of the matter is Dak is no longer there. I think that Arizona was going to key on Zeke, right? Hey, we're going to make Dalton beat us. I don't think that's going to be necessarily always going to be the plan. They have a bunch of good wide receivers. People are going to have to respect it. Zeke is going to be Zeke. They're going to give him the ball a lot. Even if they don't, they'll make sure he's involved. And look, I mean, he's still the 5th best running back this year after scoring next to nothing last week. I am not worried at all. I mean, I wish people would panic and try to get rid of him. I would love to have Zeke on my team. And he's about to go against Washington, Philly. So 7-8 before he hits Pitt and then a bye. And then after that too, though, I mean, he has kind of a darling schedule, to be quite honest. You do have Baltimore in week 13 and San Fran in 15. But other than that, you have people he could just absolutely run all over. Yeah. So, he scores a lot of touchdowns too. What does he already have? Five touchdowns, and
could have used one last night. Jeez.
He could have. And
McCarthy.
You're right, he hasn't had that big rushing game where he's gone over 100 yards, but he's been incredibly productive without it. So think about when he actually does do that. And you would think with Dalton, and I know that he just had a game with Dalton and it did not turn out that way, but you would think with Dalton, they're going to have to get him more involved in the run game because, hey, Dak was he was murking people, right? And with that defense, you're going to have to score a lot of points. That might be part of it too. They have to throw so much because of that. But hey, I mean, even in the receiving game, not the best, but even last week against Arizona, he caught 8 balls. It did not work out for a lot of yardage. I mean, it was only 31, but they're trying to throw it to him. So I know it was a sucky game, but I have no doubt that he'll continue to be a very top end performer.
I have doubt because Mike McCarthy's an idiot. So he's a moron. No, Aaron Rodgers must be just laughing right now. He's thinking, I don't have to deal with you anymore. He just must love life, except for his loss and his
that last week. Well, he cost me that Scott Fishbowl win, so I'm angry at Aaron Rodgers now. I
did enjoy his touchdown celebration, which wasn't a touchdown, but I did like the little Key and Peele thing there. All right, Jeremiah does have a straight up question here for us for starters. Who are you starting at wide receiver? Chase Claypool, Jamison Crowder, Robert Woods. Claypool, Crowder, Woods.
I'm actually going Claypool.
I figured you'd say that. I'm still going to go Woods. Even though Crowder feels just like he's good for 7 catches. But
yeah, I know. If you're in a PPR, you might be able to talk to me about that one.
Your yardage may vary on that one, but he'll get you the 7 catches for sure.
Yeah.
All right, we got Chandler asking about rest of season question here. Antonio Gibson or David Johnson? Antonio Gibson, David Johnson. You know what?
That's a good question. That really,
I think I'd go David Johnson and not feel good about it, but I would go with David Johnson. He feels like the safer option this week and going forward.
Actually, yeah, I'm with you. He has been very solid. I know it doesn't wow any of us, but he has been better. He's kind of one of those that is floating under the radar a little bit. And Antonio Gibson, he has a lot of growing pains here to come because that team, not great.
Yeah. All right. Oh, another question from Brady Spaghetti here. Actually, we'll get number 2 in for Brady. It's a flex question. Would you start Laviska Shenault, Christian Kirk, or Justin Jackson, half-point PPR? Shenault, Kirk, Justin Jackson, half-point PPR. I'll go Justin Jackson actually here. I think he's going to get a little more workload. I'm not 100% sold on the Josh Kelly thing, so I'm going to go Jackson. And I mean, I like Shenault, but it's no guarantee. And Christian Kirk could get you, he gets you some good games. Like he got that big touchdown catch, but it's not guaranteed. So I'm just going to go Jackson actually.
Yeah, I'll actually roll with you on that one. It's very close for me. It's a very good question, but I kind of agree with the way you're looking at it because none of them are surefire things and none of them have been, hot of late. Even Shenault had a very bad game last week.
Yeah, and I don't feel great about those options, but yeah. I'm still gonna do it. And this is for tomorrow's show, but I'm just gonna bring it up right now. This kind of trade question came in and they were asking, would you trade Myles Gaskin and Jarvis Landry for DK Metcalf? And yeah, you do that in like a second. If that was offered, that's DK Metcalf, number 1 receiver for 2021. He will be my number 1 ranked. Easily my number 1 ranked next year. So, all right, that's about all the questions I got actually for Start Sit this week. But we will have a mailbag show tomorrow, which if you have trade questions, different questions like that, get them to us on Instagram at instagram.com/fantasyfootballprofit before tomorrow or if you're listening to this on Wednesday, before tonight, before about, 9:00 tonight, get those questions in. We'll definitely get try to get all your questions answered as we go to week 7. So, all right, I think that's going to do it for today, Jeff. Talk to you guys tomorrow.